you all know that we have to face this time one day, right? One day. But how you gonna go? Do you know what actually happens to the body once it's in the coffin? Do you actually know how much it's going to cost when you have to bury this person in this coffin? It's all a business. Choose your death wisely. Well, you know, the preparing of the death for the funeral wisely. So I'm going to take you through a clip, a soundbite, on what happens to the body after the funeral, right? What goes on down there? Interesting stuff. So, let's switch this up, y'all. And you really have to think about this. How much this shit gonna cost for you to even get buried? It's crazy shit. Please think wisely. Remember, this shit is a business, okay? It's a business. All right, so I'm gonna take you through this soundbite. It's about 5 minutes. So kick it with me. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? It definitely helps the channel out. And especially when I'm bringing information like this. Very interesting stuff, guys. Very interesting. Check it out.
Safely stored in a freezer in the morgue in the basement of your local hospital. You watch with interest as the doctor removes your body from the freezer and prepares it for the post-mortem exam. They start with an external exam, looking for any obvious signs of injury or recent medical care, and taking note of any defining marks, like your freckles and tattoos. Your doctor dons a strange-looking face shield to start the internal exam, which seems a bit overkill to you, until he reaches for the saw. The doctor uses the saw to cut open your abdomen from your pubic bone all the way up to your sternum and to cut through your ribs to expose your chest cavity. At least they're careful not to cut it too high so that your loved ones won't have to see evidence of the post-mortem exam during your funeral. You can't stop watching as the doctor proceeds to remove your organs one by one so that he can examine each of them by turn. They work in 3 blocks, starting with the thoracic area. First, they remove your lungs and heart, then loosen the skin up to your chin to get at your tongue and throat without leaving visible marks. Thanks, I guess. Next, they remove your liver, pancreas, stomach, and kidneys, and they finally take out your bladder, bowels, and reproductive organs. Now that your body is an empty cavity, the doctor turns their attention to your organs and examines each of them in turn. You find it hard to pay attention to what's happening on the bench, though, when your body is just laying there, empty. The doctor doesn't find any obvious damage to any of your organs, so they take samples to send for analysis, including a toxicology screening. After the samples are...
Well, I got a question. What they taking samples for? Oh, where they taking it to? That's another video. But if someone knows out there, put in the comment section. Where do you think that they taking these samples of organs to? What do you think?
Prepared, the doctor carefully returns your organs to your body, roughly where they belong, then carefully sews up your incisions. You're a little bit surprised to see that they also clean your body to remove any evidence of the post-mortem, and they even wash your hair for you. Finally, the doctor completes their report and releases your body to the funeral home. 2 attendants arrive to transport your body to the funeral home. They load up your body into a stretcher and gather up your clothes and personal belongings. You're relieved to see that your wallet makes it untouched into the bag with your possessions. But then, "Hey," says one of the attendants, "this guy has a full Metro pass in his pocket. That has to be worth at least 50 bucks. I'm keeping this. Not like he's gonna miss it." They both have a good laugh at that as they...
Hey, man, you know they be taking shit out of there. You know damn well they be taking... Man... Because say if a murder happened or something and you just died, whatever you got, you know, they leave it up to these people to give it to the family. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff don't make it.
They wheel your body and belongings out to the waiting hearse. After a pretty bumpy ride, you follow your body into the funeral home and into yet another freezer. Who knew death was so chilly? Well, you'd better get comfortable. This is your home until the results of the post-mortem come in. Then your death can be registered and your embalming
sets in. And crazy, man. Oh, man, that's crazy. Filled up with all types of stuff.
Decomposition begins several minutes after death with a process called autolysis, or more commonly, self-digestion. Soon after the heart stops beating, cells become deprived of oxygen and acidity increases because of the chemical reactions inside. Enzymes, the little things that break us down, leak out cells. This usually begins in the liver, which is rich in enzymes, and in the brain. Eventually, though, all other tissues and organs begin to break down. Damaged blood cells spill out and discolor skin. Of course, the body temperature drops steeply until it becomes the same as its surroundings. Then, rigor mortis, the stiffness of death. Eyes, the jaw and neck muscles stiffen in the start, but soon enough, the torso and limbs fall victim to it as well. But why? After death, the cells are devoid of their energy source, and the protein particles that move muscles are locked in place. At this point, mostly bacteria lives on the corpse. Our body actually has a huge number of bacteria. Every one of the body's surfaces and corners provides a habitat for a bacterial community. But mostly, these tiny things live in our gut. If we know little about the environment in a living body, we know even less about it in a corpse. Still, most internal organs are free from microbes when we are alive. That's because our immune system guards every single tissue. After death, the immune system starts working, so the bacteria moves freely into the organs. If you somehow want to see a decomposition in action, go down to Texas, not just because everyone there is a killer, but because it's Huntsville. There is a research facility that has placed 2 fresh cadavers in sunlight to observe natural decomposition.
They be experimenting with that shit. All the organs that they probably take to some lab, to test it out. They probably building their own human. Ooh, man, what about that? I don't know. You think they building their own human out there? Man, well, you know what's going down. You know what's going down.
Even further into gas, liquids, and salts. It is already underway at the early stages, but ramps up at speed when anaerobic bacteria comes to play. Anaerobic bacteria are the ones that work without oxygen and feed on the body's tissues, fermenting the sugars in them to produce gases such as methane and ammonia. This causes bloating as well as the rancid corpse smell. How do we know it smells? Cop shows, of course. This also causes further discoloration of the body. The skin turns green-black. But bloating is often used as a marker for the transition between early and later stages of decomposition. Once putrefaction has occurred, a decomposing body becomes exposed to its surroundings. At this stage, those microbe colonies really start to flourish. 2 species closely linked to decomposition are blowflies and flesh flies. Cadavers give off a foul, sickly, sweet smell that blowflies detect the smell, then land on the cadaver and lay their eggs. Each fly deposits around 250 eggs in the first 24 hours. That gives
250 eggs.
Rise to small maggots.
Whoa.
They feed and become large ones that wiggle away. The presence of flies is what really cooks the body's goose. It attracts predators such as skin beetles, wasps, and spiders, which then feed on the fly eggs. If that wasn't bad enough, vultures may also descend upon the body. So every dead body has a unique environment around it, and this may change according.
Your body is an ecosystem, and the living underground creeper crawlers will feed off of it. Wow, interesting, right? So how about taking another route? We know what's going to happen when the body is inside the coffin. We know what's going to happen. So, and you have another choice. You can also get cremated as well, right? What about that option? If you take cremation, hey, you may come out better, right? Well, let's check out the process of the cremation. Put the body in a box. say the head is the last to go because the brain hardens up, and it takes a while for it to get to this point. So the head is the last to go. Another one they don't want to.
Warning, watch at your own discretion. Graphic content.
Well,
humans often cope with death by disguising it.
Well, you have your option. Whether you want to go cremate yourself or go the funeral route. The coffin route. And a little bit of information to back that up as far as cost. The average funeral costs between $7,000, $12,000. Viewing, burials, service fees, transport, all the stuff that has to be included. The average cost funeral with cremation is about $6,000 to $7,000. Okay, so these are the numbers so far, the average, and it proves that cremation is cheaper than the burial. So at least you'll save yourself $2,000. So, hey, that's the information for you guys. Let me know what you think about that. Cremation or coffin. Let me know in the comment section. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for coming through.
Welcome to JP. Welcome to JP.
JP's. JP's.
JP's. JP's.
Welcome to JP's TV. Believe it or not.